Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're doing well. I'm Ethan Drew, for those that don't know who I am. Today we're going to be reacting to and breaking down Geoff Castellucci's cover of Big Iron. Now, I am excited for this one because we all know that Geoff Castellucci takes it up to the next level with his covers, but I'm particularly excited for this one because I love the original song that's being covered here very, very much. Big Iron was written and performed by Marty Robbins and released in 1959. Very, very iconic song, especially if you're a Western type of movie watcher or just into Western culture. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right into this and we're going to see what Geoff has in store for us today. And we can fully expect some serious powerhouse low notes and some snaps probably. Also, pardon the nose and mouth noises. I am getting over some post-nasal drip from a viral infection that I recently had, so bear with me if you don't mind. Without further ado, let's jump into this. Move this to the next screen, and we'll get started promptly. Come on, Geoff. This is first time reaction, by the way. I was free, rode a stranger one fine day. Ooh, nice already. Spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. Okay, so, FYI, I stop and pause these videos a lot to talk about what's going on in the music, as well as what I like about what's going on in the music. So if you don't like tons of pausing in your reaction and analysis videos, I don't know if you're going to enjoy this video. But if you do, then I'm glad you're here with me. I'm glad that you're here with me regardless. But anyway, tangent. So, Geoff got down to a B1 at the very beginning within the, first 5 seconds? To the town of our free, rode a stranger one fine day. Yep. B and then C sharp. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. Well, no one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. For the stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip. A big iron on his hip. Okay, cool couple things to talk about here. So, the cover that Geoff is doing is in the original key, which big iron on his hip. Don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one while the song's playing through. Forgot what key it's in. Also, the original tempo and original style. Love how he's paying homage to Marty Robbins here. Oh, excuse me. So, very, very light, and it's like the beat's moving right along, right? And it's perfectly paced. And the only really percussive effect that you get in Geoff's cover here is this light strumming effect on the guitar. So it's not quite strumming a chord, but it's that effect that a lot of guitar players use whenever they're sitting there picking guitar, if they want to have a little bit of a bit of a tick, so to speak, to try to keep track of the time in the song. Well, it was early in the morning when... Okay, there we go. So there's the perk. There's the drum kit. In the original, the drum kit kicks in at the very beginning. Well, it was early in the morning when he rode into the town. Ooh, I like the bell. Riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. Easing down all listen, running came the whisper from each lip. Then he's here to do some business. Come on, Geoff. Big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Okay, that was good. That was a perfect place to drop an E1 subharmonic. Love that. Okay, so there's a little bit more to talk about other than that monstrous E1 sub. other than the fact that it came out of nowhere. But, excuse me, I love the placement of it in this arrangement. Big Iron. That's a really nice harmonic in the background there, with his background voices there. Geoff, Jeff, and what's the last one? I don't know. For those that need context of why I'm saying random names, these names are the loving names of the other 4 Jeffs in the video, you know, the duplicates of himself. To give you more context, Geoff, I mean, like, they've been kind of dubbed that because Jeff's name is commonly mispronounced, and these other 4 versions of him are just kind of obtain the names of some of the most common mispronunciations of Jeff's names. It's pretty sick the way that it kind of came to be, and it was an immediate meme in Jeff's community, especially in the voice play community too. Like, anyone that knows Geoff knows the joke. So, but anyway, a little bit of a tangent, but that's a little bit of context as to why I'm saying those random names. Okay, back up 5 seconds. We'll keep going.
And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. He's a stranger that rode into town one day.
That's a little different than the original. That's different from the original.
Some business than me.
More harmonic backgrounds. More harmonic background parts.
In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red.
Oh, okay, so the percussion changes up a little bit here. It's like rolling and really giving you a nice good beat, just like the original, and then it switches up. You hear the bell, and then you get back down to a little bit more bare bones of percussion again. Simple kick.
Do some business than me on the way. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name.
And just completely cuts out the perk for a second, and I love that choice there, because some people really underestimate the effect that cutting out perk has for a brief moment on the taste of the music and the listener experience. It gives it this little bit of floating feeling, like you're, ooh, just like you're waiting to land on the next exciting thing in the song.
Name of Texas Red. Many
Back
men
down a
had
little
tried to take him, and that many
Taper
men
down
were
the
dead.
amount of things going on.
He was vicious.
Also, what was that? Was that an evil laugh?
Name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead.
Yeah, that's got to be an evil laugh. Also, 2 things to call out here. One, most of the songs so far up until this point, Geoff has been singing an octave down, because we all know that Geoff has a lower lying voice. He is a low bass singer. So, naturally, that's kind of something that bass singers have to do on a regular basis. Is to really make, in order to, if they don't want to change the key, they're going to have to drop it down an octave or jump up an octave. And if you're a bass singer, jumping up an octave is not ideal compared to going down the octave if you have those low notes. With that said, though, this comes to numbers. The second thing that I was going to draw your attention to, in this little section here where he says, the town of Agafria. Hold on.
By the name of Texas Red.
There's an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. On this line here, notice he goes up an octave. Now, what I just said about bass singers not wanting to go into the upper octaves doesn't really apply to Geoff. You would think it would, because he's a lower bass singer. You would expect him to live in the depths, but he does not. Geoff is insane and a man of significant color when it comes to his arrangements and his abilities. So, he likes to challenge himself, of course, if you don't know that much about him. But if you do know much about him, you knew this already. He challenges himself on a regular basis, and this is no exception. Like, he can carry a lead wonderfully in that baritone range, despite him being a lower bass singer. And it's just, Geoff is a freak of nature, you know. You could give him a tenor part and he could sing it, and you could give him a borderline basso profundo's part and he could sing it. This man is just ludicrously talented.
Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more.
Ooh, I really like these harmonies here. Normally I don't stop to break these down, and I don't think I will here, but I will give you guys a little bit of extra time to go back and listen to this again, because this little harmonic departure from the original, is some ear candy right there, folks. He doesn't normally go down to the A and then up to the C sharp. That doesn't happen in the original. It goes 1 in 19 more. It goes down to that E, and that's where Marty sits on that note to finish off that line. Geoff does not do that here, and it's a very colorful way, very creative way to do that. I mean, this sounds so different, but it's so interesting. It's a hook. I love it.
Killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in.
Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, that was a really nice crunchy harmony there. Hold on. I'm going to raise the volume temporarily just so you guys can hear that, because it's very subtle. Listen to this harmony right here. It's got some nice dissonance and crunch.
Though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in.
Right there. That was awesome. Back down. Here we go.
19 more. 1 in 19 more.
So when he goes 1 in 19 more, Geoff decides to go, he goes 1 in 19 more. Instead of doing what Marty did in the original, goes 1 in 19 more. Like I said, very, very creative touch.
Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona ranger,
harmonies in the
wouldn't be too
background.
long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive, or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Like
Ooh, that was a really nice slide down to an A1 in chest. Pretty thick. And that was a really nice place to do it in the music too. Excuse me. That was incredible placement there.
after Texas Red. Like the dust that's
that. It
blowing
flows so
through this
well.
border town. Yeah. He will chase the storm and take old Texas down.
I love how he's just floating along with the lead. Like, he's just going places that the original didn't go. He's just adding more flair to it, and I love every second of this.
Was related to Texas Red, but the outlaw didn't worry, man, that tried before we're dead. 20 men and tried to take in 20 men and made a slip. 20.
Oh, hello, augmented chord maybe. This is a little crunchy, and I love it. The root of that chord was a C, or the bass note of that chord was a C, and we're in like the key of E something, I think. So that was like oddly dissonant, but it sounded so good.
20 men and tried to take in 20 men and made a slip.
From a C to an A1 in chest, C2 A1.
21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his head. Now the
I've said it. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. There is something special about whenever someone drops a moment of near silence or complete silence, even if it's just for milliseconds, into a cover or just in a song in general. There is something to be said for that. It gives this wow factor, this pop to the song that most other music doesn't have without it, because it just leaves you on the edge of your seat as a listener. This wasn't complete silence, but it was almost silence. She just had a voice singing, and that was it. Incredible.
morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to leave. It was 20 past 11 when they walked
harmonies
out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody had their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play.
Is that a triangle? That's got to be a triangle, but there's something funny about it.
40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And
That sounds like a wood block and a triangle hitting at the exact same time.
between them when they stopped to make their play.
See?
And the swiftness of the ranger is still.
Nice choice to kind of swell within the music, if you catch my drift. If you don't, what I mean by swell is the volume and intensity of the cover. And where I noticed this the most is the variation in the percussion and the amount of voices that are singing, right? So there's these points where it's like big and warm and strong and then it's like back down a little, and then it's back up, and then it's back down a lot. Like, especially in this little spot here, this is like a little bit more of an intimate storytelling side of the song, whereas the rest is more of like a narrator, like, you know, more of a narration intent, or, you know, it's an more intense version of the rest of the song. And in this spot, it's a little more hushed, it's a little more soft, and it's just you blow it up with intensity and volume, then you bring it back down. And if you keep it dynamic like that, keeping it not static but just completely dynamic and changing things a little bit here and there, not exactly the same, you've got a winner of a cover. As long as you don't overdo it and changing it too much, like to the point of annoyance, which obviously is not happening here.
Talked about today. Texas red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped, and the ranger's aim was deadly with a big iron on his head. Big iron on his head. He's a stranger that rode into town one day. Here to do some business, then be on his way. Big iron.
He's up to an A, or he's up to a G sharp 4 there in full chest voice.
He will keep on rolling till his life is gone.
Super
It
nice.
was over
B1.
in a moment, and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Well, he might have gone on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on
E1?
his hip.
Yeah. Pardon me. I just ruined the end of that song with my inhuman coughing. Man, let's listen to that again. That was a meaty E1 sub there.
Big iron on his head.
There's so much control there, and there's a lot of higher partials, a lot of higher frequencies on the high end of that subharmonic. Such a fantastic subharmonic. Let's listen to the message at the end, then we'll wrap this up.
Hey everyone, Geoff here. Thanks for watching Big Iron. I hope you enjoyed this updated version of such a classic tune. Special shout out goes to some of the folks on Patreon who make these videos possible. Huldra Draco, Temma Krempley, Juliana Livingston, Diane Holland, Sarah Borzilli, Sarah O, Lori Templeman, Laura Mueller, Patricia Schumann, Debbie Goodling, Jordy S, A.M. Person, Carl and Melanie Thomas, Asa Lagnestall, Dorothy Brune, and Debs Badger. If you'd like to join the Patreon community to get a whole bunch of extras, click on the link on the screen or below to sign up for free. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.
And that, my friends, is the end of today's video reaction and analysis video. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ethan Drew. I'm a singer. I like to sing a lot. I have friends here in the music industry, and what I do here on this channel is I interview singers, my primary source of content. I break down music that you like to listen to here on the channel, just like you saw. And I like to share you what's going on with it, help cultivate that understanding of music and appreciation for the music that you love. And I like to do a little bit of music of my own. I mostly put that content over on my TikTok page, but sometimes I do share here on YouTube Shorts as well. So stay tuned if you like the kind of work that I do. If you guys like the video, make sure you drop a like. If you will, also drop a comment down below, even if it's just a smiley face. It helps with the algorithm. And if you're enjoying the content to the point of wanting to support me and my journey here on YouTube, there is a link in the description to go to Patreon, where you have the ability to financially support me if you choose to. It's not required to pay a single penny to enjoy my content. You can support me just as well by subscribing, liking, and commenting. Guys, I love you. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today. This video is made possible by patrons like Miss Nancy Flesher. If you are interested in getting shoutouts like this at the end of my videos, make sure you hit the link in my description to go to Patreon, where you have the ability to do so. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.